Happy Friday, Warriors. Thanks for sticking with me through those daily motivation bugs and mistakes I'm making in the first couple weeks as I get this process down. It'll smooth out eventually. Thanks for hanging in there with me. The first one I want to go over is anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you can do it well. And I could think of so many things in my life that when I started, I was terrible at, and I might still be terrible at some of them. But it's when it's tied to a purpose, when it's tied to a why, when it's tied to positively impacting people, it's worth starting at that poor level. And chances are, if you put the consistency in, you put the reps in, you're going to see yourself get better at it, and you're going to see the impact get bigger because of it. The podcast journey, public speaking, book writing, leadership, being a husband, being a father, all those things I didn't start out great at, but I put a lot of work into it because the purpose is worth it. The next one was about resisting temptation and how resisting temptation builds a new fund of moral energy. And I thought that was interesting to think about. And let's use the snacking analogy. So you're trying not to do bad snacking like I am, and you stand in that pantry, stare at those Cheez-Its, and you cave in. You eat, you feel good in the moment, and that slight dip up is followed by a trough of shame, of guilt, of sadness. And that trough is deeper than the high you got from caving into that temptation. But when you resist it, so back to the snacking, and then I walk out of the pantry and say, no, I'm not going to do it. The next day, I feel good about myself. I have more energy. I'm feeling positive that I fought that off and I'm getting stronger as a person. And now that's a smaller temptation, but there are bigger temptations that we face. So I want you to think about the one in your life that you're having trouble resisting and put some mechanisms in place so you can find that new fund of moral energy on the other side of resisting it. And the last one was about things may come to those that wait, but only the things left by those that hustle. And I thought that was awesome to reflect on. And you hear that saying a lot, good things come to those that wait. But there's that other side of the coin too. Like those sprints you do quarterly towards quarterly rocks and milestones for yearly goals. Like they are worth that effort because you know what's on the other side of that. You have that big goal at the end of the year or multi years. It's worth that effort. So where do you need to put more effort in your life? Happy Cinco de Mayo. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week.